AITA for not canceling my plans after my boyfriend learned about his diagnosis? I, 25F, work in event planning, so I always get invites or tickets to go high-end events. There was a huge event coming up that I was really excited to go to. I asked my boyfriend, 27, 3 days before the event to accompany me, and he said yes. So originally, the plan was my boyfriend, my stepsister and myself. On the day of the event, he said B had a doctor's appointment, so he isn't sure if he can still attend. I said no problem, and then I waited for him to return home. A couple hours later he texted me and said he has something to tell me. I got worried and called him immediately. I asked if everything was okay, and he said he was diagnosed with anemia, so he'll have to take supplements. I expressed how sorry I was and spoke to him for about 2 hours, gave him pep talks, told him I'm here if he needs me, reassured him that I will always love him, etc. I then asked if he would still like to attend the event with me to take his mind off of things, to which he responded that he doesn't like the artistes performing, so he'd rather go another event. I said no problem, I will go with my stepsister alone. He got upset and hung up. I called him back, but he started an argument about how I'm selfish for going out while he's going through something. I told him that I already made the plans with my stepsister and I can't back out now as she's depending on me. I also don't drink, so I would have been the sober driver, and if I didn't go, she couldn't. I told him that this event is the only event my sister really wanted to attend, and I promised her that I would take her months prior. I even told him I'll see him the next day, and he said be safe and hung up. I got to the event around 11 and spent the entire event alone, just sitting down and watching the show by myself, having food and drinks. When I returned home around 2 a.m., I called him and he was awake playing video games. His first words were, "Look who cares about me again." I said, "I'm too tired for this," and he responded by saying that of course I'm tired. I went out without him knowing he's upset, but I love partying and meeting new people so much that I didn't think to stay with him on the phone. I told him he's being ridiculous and I would have stayed if it were just us who planned to go. He said my priorities are off and I'm an ignorant awe. Keep in mind, I don't attend parties unless it's with my family, and I only attend events a few times a year. So, AITA for not staying on the phone with him and attending the event instead? This thread is now locked due to an excess of Rule 1, B civil violations. Sub-rules. FAQs. Dude got told he was anemic and acted like it was a death sentence. Lol WTF, he's anemic, it's not cancer. He just needs to take some vitamins and eat better. What a self-centered prick. NTA tears of joy, anemia, is so common. I put it in quotations BC. There are so many different types of anemia. Supplements? He's probably iron deficient and needs to take vitamins. The 2-hour pep talk you had to give him about having to take supplements is embarrassing for him. He basically threw a huge pity party, and that continued until you called him later. I would take this as an opportunity to examine his emotional maturity and how he treats you. It sounds to me like he can easily make you feel bad and guilty about things you shouldn't feel bad nor guilty about. And he took up 2 hours of your time earlier on the phone BC. A doctor told him to take vitamins. He sounds like he's immature and craves your attention, and he doesn't care about your happiness. NTA. I couldn't even imagine spending 2 hours talking about having anemia in the first place. When my doctor told me to take iron pills and vitamins, I was like, okay. And I told my husband and he was like, okay. And then I got some iron pills and vitamins and took them, and everyone was okay. NTA. Not to downplay anything, but it's anemia. I've lived with anemia for 40 years. My son has a severe form of anemia, gets supplements and transfusions. It's not cancel plans diagnosis. Maybe 'cause I live with it I don't see it as a big deal. OP's BF acting like being diagnosed with anemia is like being diagnosed with cancer. LMAO. Your BF is at minimum a wuss and at worst a manipulator. Tell him to take some vitamins and kick rocks. NTA. NTA. I'm even questioning the validity of his claim. Feels like a stunt to get your attention. TBH. Removed. Info. What did you talk about for 2 hours? Lol NTA it's anemia. Anemia is nothing these days. They even have supplements to take care of it. Also I'm curious if your BF knows what anemia is. Maybe he thinks it is something worse. Tears of joy, tears of joy. You talked to him about his anemia diagnosis for 2 hours? You put in about 1 hour 57 minutes of effort more than I would have, and I really love my partner. NTA. NTA. Anemia isn't serious and can be fixed with diet or supplements. He's overreacted. I don't understand why you said you spent the entire event alone. Where was your stepsister?